Once upon a time, there was a mighty king. It was said he ruled over a small island off the coast of Sardinia. Many had searched far and wide for the lost king, but still no one had found... Wait a minute, that's him! That's the king!
Benvenuti nella mia isola di Tavolara. Il mio nome è Antonio Bertolioni, però tutti mi chiamano Re Tonino o Maestà.
His family has lived on the island for over 200 years. His great-great-grandfather, Giuseppe Bertolioni, arrived on the uninhabited island in 1807. The King of Sardinia, Carlo Alberto, was, well, intrigued. So...
Avevo invitato Giuseppe Bertolioni al re di venire a caccia qui a Tavolara, che c'erano queste capre selvatiche, dente d'oro le chiamavamo.
Goats with gold teeth?
Sì, l'ho viste anch'io. E sembra che sia stata proprio una razza di capra. Alcuni dicono che hanno una specie d'erba che mangiano. Quindi sono venuto a caccia, hanno preso 7-8 capre e poi gli è stato chiesto cosa voleva. E il re gli ha detto, appunto, che lo nominava re di Tavolara e gli ha fatto un biglietto scritto.
A Bertolioni coat of arms were painted, flags were made, and a royal family tree was drawn. News had even reached Queen Victoria, who sent a photographer to photograph the new royal family.
La regina Vittoria ce l'ha ancora lì a Vado in Campana. Questa foto che è originale, che una coppia ce l'abbiamo noi.
So what is a typical day in the life of His Lordship?
Oggi quello che faccio io è uno sport per me. Vado a pesca, mi diverto qui a casa facendo lavoretti, lavoro nel ristorante, do una mano.
Wait, a ruler with a restaurant? Are you really a king?
Io mi tengo a tutti gli effetti il re come erano i miei antenati. Io mi ritengo un discendente del re e quindi siccome il primo maschio prende sempre il titolo come fanno i regnanti e quindi il re è italiana perché fa parte dell'Italia, però è un regno di Tavolara, appartiene a noi e ai tavolaresi. Un posto come questo così ha proprio bisogno di una corona.
Your Majesty, I totally agree.
Seven miles off Estonia's west coast in Eastern Europe lies the small island of Canoe, a bucolic and serene place that feels lost in time. Home to just 400 people, it functions like one of the world's few matriarchal societies. This is a place where women rule, well, mostly everything.
Hello, welcome to Kihnu Island. My name is Mare Natas. I lived almost all my life in this island. Our lifestyle is different comparing the lifestyle in the mainland. Many old traditions still are alive.
One such tradition is that Canoe's men spend months away at sea fishing for the island. Meanwhile, Canoe's women are in charge of leading the community and preserving its way of life.
Men were always a long time away from the island. And that's the historical reason why women become very strong, very independent. Kihnu culture is interesting because we still wear traditional costumes as everyday wearing.
She's making skirts because she has 5 granddaughters.
We have ancient folk songs still alive and dances. They have a lot of practical skills how to live all over the year here. Yes, life is more difficult here to survive. It's a treasure for Kihnu Islanders. They all describe the island like it's like a paradise. It's the best place in the world.
Mehed on meil rohkem ära ja neid me siin ümberkaudu või ümberringi väga ei kohtagi. Et naised on põhilised, keda me näeme siin nii vallaasutustes kui ka saare peal liikumas.
The clothes, the music, the dancing, all of it has been recognized by UNESCO on its intangible cultural heritage list.
Kihnu wedding songs and wedding traditions are more than 2,000 years old. So this is the main thing why we are in this UNESCO list.
The same list acknowledges Canoe's women as the custodians of their island's heritage.
I concern every day that our unique culture can disappear. It's very valuable if those things still exist and survive in the modern world. It's really a miracle.
Life on the island isn't easy. I mean, it's not a place where you come to get rich, but it's a better lifestyle. So it's a happier lifestyle. With so few people on the island, everybody has to have multiple jobs to keep the island afloat with everybody else.
Welcome to North Ronaldsay, a small remote island off the northern reaches of Scotland. Home to around 50 people, 2 lighthouses, an airport, some sheep, cattle, and a few seals, and that's about it. Not much of a labour force. So while on the mainland you might have 1, maybe 2 jobs, up here it's more like 6 or 7. Meet Sarah Moore.
My name's Sarah Moore. I've got quite a few jobs on the island. I'm a home carer, a clerk to the community council. I work at the airfield, baggage handler and firefighter. I've got a flock of sheep, and I'm the postie on the island. Really the job is being an islander, which is just mucking in and helping with various bits and pieces. I mean, no 2 days ever the same. I could be helping with cattle one day and fixing a roof the other day, and it's whatever the islanders need help with, you just muck in. Logan 727, North Ronaldsay Obs. Your wind is 184 degrees. Safety is our #1 priority on North Ronaldsay. But thankfully we've never had an emergency, so hopefully keep it that way. I moved to the island about 3.5 years ago from Edinburgh. I wasn't enjoying life there. I mean, there's just so many people, and you didn't ken anybody, you're completely anonymous. It's quite a lonely place. Up here, my confidence has gained massively because people, they come along, they teach you the skills that you need. I certainly never had sheep in Edinburgh. Hello, son, hello. Most people didn't quite understand that when I say I've got like 6 jobs, it's not 6 full-time jobs. I mean, it's not as if I'm working, 24 hours a day. There's far more job satisfaction at the end of the day. You can say you've actually accomplished something as opposed to just, done the same old thing day in, day out.
How many houses do you have to deliver to?
I think it's something like 25 houses on the island that I deliver to.
How long does it take you?
A few hours. It depends on the amount of posts we get. This island's really magical. I mean, it's completely unique in its own way. You're never going to find a place like this where you can just come up and live the way you're supposed to live. We're ruled by the weather as opposed to the clock, and I have no plans to go anywhere. I'm setting up roots, and I'm going to be here till I die.
What do you say to people who just say, this is not a normal way of living?
Thank you very much.
I'm Catherine, and this is my husband, Wayne.
I'm Wayne, and welcome to Freedom Cove. We live in a secluded cove. The only options we have to get here is by water. There are no road accesses. The water is our highway.
Everything that you see here in our home is floating. We are tied to shore with lines. We are not anchored. We have our main living house. We have the dance floor, the lighthouse building, 4 greenhouses. As I started to grow the garden and make it larger, then we had to have more space for that garden.
Everything's done with a handsaw and hammer. No power tools. I know every board and nail by name. It's about 500 tons, 1 million pounds that I'm floating. I've been building tree forts since I was 7.
Yeah.
And I said, well, Dad, I'm putting a tree fort in the ocean.
Do you ever get seasick?
No, when I go to town, I get land sick.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about living in Clayoquot Sound on the west coast of Vancouver Island, it's the richest biomass on Earth. So the opportunity to fish for dinner is big. And I just can get in my canoe and paddle out in 10 minutes, I can catch a fish. But when it's windy and too rough out there, I can just lay on the couch and fish out of the house. I was hoping to make a lot more money as an artist. So subsistence living was our only opportunity to have anything as artists. We could never buy real estate, so we had to make our own. It was a great opportunity to actually move away from the city to see if we could prosper out here. Now, 24 years later, we're still doing it.
I can't imagine living any other way. I feel completely fulfilled.
Oh, that's good, huh? That's really nice. I'm working on it.
A 2-hour boat ride off the coast of Colombia is an island, the most densely populated island on Earth. Santa Cruz del Islote consists of more than 1,200 people living on land the size of 2 soccer fields, making it 4 times as dense as Manhattan. On the island is a school that runs up to the 10th grade, 2 shops and 1 restaurant. There is no steady supply of water and a sole generator that only runs for 5 hours per day. There are no police, but there isn't much need for them, as everyone on the island knows each other. 150 years ago, the island was primarily uninhabited and was sometimes used by local fishermen as a place to rest and take shelter during storms. Gradually, some fishermen came to build their homes here. These were the grandparents and great-grandparents of the current generation of residents. Despite the close living quarters, inhabitants on the island say they wouldn't give up their peaceful existence for anything, not even a little more room.